Tom Holland has allegedly just dropped a bombshell that could rock Hollywood to its foundations. Word on the street is that he's finally calling out Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively for scheming. Yes, scheming to push their way into his Spider-Man success. Sounds outrageous, right? It should. Because if these whispers are true, we're staring down a scandal so massive, it's practically rewriting the entire Marvel playbook.
Bombshell, and this time it is pertaining to the New York Times. Amazing that you're not going to believe this, okay? It looks like Justin Baldoni may have a very strong case against the New York Times. I know for a fact that the mainstream media will lie and they will smear on behalf of their powerful friend. I believe in due process, which is why I always read the facts of the case before accepting the media narrative that they were plotting with the New York Times for months to smear him. And there may be some important evidence. So in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, he accuses Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively of colluding with the New York Times. Do you guys remember what the article was actually entitled that they actually released on 12/21? We can bury anyone inside a Hollywood smear machine. But they believed her narrative instantly because the allegations were so strong. And I just kind of held fire because I don't trust the New York Times to save my life. Well, she filed a civil rights complaint in Los Angeles. And then within 24 hours, the New York Times had the scoop. They published the complaint in its entirety, and it looked suspicious. If you look at that URL, look at the date on that. 12/16/2024, the New York Times saved this image 4 days before they published the piece. Can you explain why the URL data points to the fact that this was saved under this title on the 16th? That's a problem, my friends, and I cannot believe it. And I am telling you, I have not seen a case so open and shut in my life. And the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay? This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni.
Can you believe this? Still reeling? You're not alone. Fans across the globe are freaking out over rumors that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively allegedly went to desperate lengths to grab a piece of Tom Holland's Spider-Man success. And now, Tom, fed up with the behind-the-scenes politics, is supposedly ready to blow the lid off their entire operation. Buckle up, because this ride is about to get wild. Before we dive into the alleged plot to steal the spotlight, let's rewind and look at how Tom Holland went from a bright-eyed newcomer to the unstoppable force known as Spider-Man practically overnight. The kid from Billy Elliot fame quickly became the face of a generation. Audiences couldn't get enough of his athletic flips and genuine charm, and Marvel Studios placed the future of their entire franchise on his shoulders. The gamble paid off big time. But stardom comes at a cost. Rumor has it that some of Hollywood's biggest names started eyeing Tom's rapid rise with envy. Actors who once ruled the box office suddenly found themselves overshadowed by this unexpected star, and they were furious. The question on everyone's lips: who in Tinseltown felt threatened enough to go after Tom's spotlight? Enter Ryan Reynolds. We all know Ryan as the wisecracking, fourth-wall-breaking Deadpool who charmed audiences with his comedic genius. But as soon as Tom's Spider-Man soared to stratospheric success, rumors began circulating that Ryan wanted a piece of that MCU synergy pie. Allegedly, he began hustling behind the scenes, trying to pressure Marvel to feature Deadpool in the next Spider-Man film. Why not combine their star power, right? It seemed like a win-win, but it clashed with Marvel's vision. Insiders claim Ryan was furious when Marvel executives insisted that Tom's web-slinger remain the shining beacon for a younger audience, distinct from Deadpool's snark and R-rated tone. And Ryan didn't just take no for an answer. Oh no. Allegedly, he tried everything, calling in favors, pulling comedic stunts, and doing whatever he could to overshadow Tom's next move. If that's not a sign of desperation, I don't know what is. But that's not the whole story. Never underestimate the power couple dynamic. According to whispers in Hollywood, Blake Lively didn't just sit back. She allegedly jumped in to back Ryan's mission. On the surface, she's the graceful fashion icon and doting mother. But behind closed doors, she was reportedly anything but passive. Allegedly, she reached out to her high-profile network studio heads, brand ambassadors, you name it, to ensure they understood the value of uniting Deadpool with Spider-Man. When those efforts hit a wall, tensions supposedly soared to new heights. We're talking meltdown moments, frantic phone calls, and dramatic appeals to make this synergy happen. The lengths they allegedly went to overshadow Tom's brand? Well, let's just say the word entitled is echoing through certain corners of the industry, and it only gets more twisted from here. Once word got out that Ryan and Blake were on a mission to make this happen, the Marvel family took notice. Allegedly, Chris Hemsworth, ever the playful Norse god, joked about how the real war was happening backstage between these iconic suits. Some sources say Chris Evans quietly took Tom's side, offering him moral support as the tension built. Meanwhile, fans have been left to wonder just how deep this drama goes. There's been speculation that Robert Downey Jr. might have offered Tom Holland some much-needed professional advice to stay grounded amid the swirling rumors and drama surrounding him. As these stories spread, a picture began to emerge of a cast divided between their comedic brand synergy and Spider-Man's beloved innocence. Suddenly, private group chats and off-the-record gatherings became breeding grounds for gossip, with questions swirling about who was truly on Tom's side and who might secretly be hoping for a crossover that could overshadow the web-slinger. But hold on. Things take a scandalous turn from here. Unconfirmed leaks suggest there are voicemails out there from Ryan Reynolds, allegedly venting his frustration over Tom's unstoppable popularity. If the rumors are true, these voicemails reportedly show a man at his wit's end, borderline outraged that studios weren't bending to his vision. In the supposed audio, he can be heard calling the situation ridiculous and urging top executives to consider the money they're leaving on the table. If that's not jaw-dropping enough, some rumor chasers claim that text message exchanges have also surfaced again, unverified, showing Blake Lively's involvement. The messages allegedly hint at an orchestrated campaign aimed at gaining creative control. While this remains all hearsay, the magnitude of these supposed receipts has set social media ablaze, with fans speculating about a potential PR disaster for Ryan and Blake. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have long maintained their squeaky clean public personas, often sharing flirty banter, philanthropic gestures, and lighthearted jabs at each other on social media. They come across as the ultimate power couple. But these rumors paint a much different picture, one of behind-the-scenes plotting, manipulation, and maybe even a hint of entitlement. Meanwhile, Tom Holland, usually known for his polite demeanor, even apologizing for the smallest inconveniences, allegedly found himself caught off guard by these covert moves. Did he confide in his co-stars, or is he quietly simmering with frustration? Fans online are fiercely debating whether certain cryptic comments Tom made about the difficulties of navigating Hollywood politics hint at deeper issues. Could this be the hidden cost of playing such an iconic role? But the drama doesn't stop there. Word on the grapevine says that Tom Holland finally snapped, not in public, not at some red carpet event, but behind closed doors, where real Hollywood drama plays out. After allegedly enduring months, maybe even years, of subtle sabotage, quiet manipulation, and relentless pressure from Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, insiders claim Tom reached his breaking point. It wasn't just one disagreement, it was the slow burn of instant meddling, shifting projects, and feeling the heat from people who were supposed to be his allies within the Marvel universe. Sources say that Tom grew so frustrated with the back-channel politics that he began threatening to expose everything: messages, emails, possibly even recorded calls. Allegedly, Tom had the receipts, or at the very least, knew where the bodies were buried, figuratively speaking. He supposedly warned higher-ups at Marvel and Sony that if things didn't calm down, he might walk away from the franchise entirely. Can you imagine Spider-Man quitting the role of Spider-Man because of Ryan Reynolds' alleged ego trip? Others whisper that Tom may have even confronted Ryan and Blake directly, perhaps in a face-to-face showdown at some private industry event. The drama just keeps escalating. There's been talk of a call between reps, though we don't know the exact details of the confrontation. However, this alleged moment has quickly gained legendary status in fan forums. Those close to the situation claim Tom Holland didn't hold back, reportedly telling Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively to stop using his name and career as leverage for their own cross-brand empire. Let's be real. If this is true, Marvel executives must have been panicking. Tom is a billion-dollar face, and losing him would have caused total chaos. Picture the headlines: the fan outrage, the potential collapse of the MCU under the weight of one actor's fed-up decision. Whether or not these receipts actually exist, the mere thought that Tom could air out the dirty laundry was enough to send shockwaves through Disney boardrooms. One anonymous insider even claimed that executives were briefed to de-escalate tensions before any press got wind of it. If that's not damage control mode, what is? But by that point, it might have been too late. The cracks were already showing, and the fallout seemed inevitable. As the dust settled, this wasn't just a private feud anymore, it had turned into an industry-wide buzz. In Hollywood, when something like this happens, it never stays quiet for long. By the time the rumors about the alleged feud between Tom and the Reynolds lively power couple started to spread, the industry was already bracing for impact. Producers, PR teams, studio heads, they were all whispering the same thing. Egos running wild. One top executive reportedly described it as two empires clashing over one crown, with Spider-Man caught in the middle. The timing couldn't have been worse. Allegedly, future crossover plans, especially anything involving Deadpool, Spider-Man, and the broader multiverse, were put on indefinite hold. Some contracts that were in the pre-negotiation stages hit pause. Why? Because nobody wanted to touch the drama. Ryan and Blake's image, once polished to perfection, had allegedly taken a hit. And for Tom, the perception was shifting. He was no longer just Marvel's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, he had become the center of a storm. Meanwhile, the talk show circuit grew tense. Ryan was noticeably vague when Spider-Man came up, and Blake canceled a podcast appearance at the last minute, supposedly due to scheduling conflicts. But insiders say the real reason was to avoid uncomfortable questions. Teams were reportedly working overtime to keep things under wraps, but the internet wasn't buying it. Then, Team Tom started trending. Within hours of the first leaks hitting Reddit, the hashtag was everywhere, and fans were ready to pick a side. Gossip sites, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube exploded with fan theories, side-by-side clips, and timelines of the alleged feud. Fans scrutinized every micro-expression in interviews, every red carpet glance, and every cryptic comment. Some even unearthed a moment during a previous press tour where Tom Holland appeared visibly uncomfortable after Ryan Reynolds hijacked a question meant for him. The narrative was being built piece by piece, and it wasn't doing the Reynolds lively brand any favors. However, not everyone was quick to judge. Some fans took Ryan's side, arguing that all he wanted was good storytelling and that his idea of Deadpool meeting Spider-Man would have been a cinematic masterpiece. But even those voices grew quieter as rumors of manipulation, secret power, plays, and behind-the-scenes drama kept piling up. What really shifted the narrative, though, was the alleged Blake Lively meltdown. Some claimed she was seen storming out of a high-level meeting in tears, while others said they overheard her shouting on the phone about people forgetting who built the brand. Though these claims remain unconfirmed, they were enough to send the gossip mill into overdrive. As the industry chatter deepened, things took a darker turn. Certain directors reportedly started avoiding pairing Ryan or Blake with younger stars, fearing more tension. Some studio execs began reevaluating their power couple package deals, questioning who could be trusted and who was playing fair. What had once been a simple feud had evolved into a battle over reputations. The question became, who was getting too big for the ensemble game that made the MCU thrive? In a twist of irony, the entire ordeal seemed to elevate Tom even higher. Public sympathy swung in his favor, and brands leaned into his wholesome image. Rumors of potential Oscar-worthy projects began swirling, and Marvel doubled down on keeping Tom in the mix. Solo movies, spin-offs, and even whispers of producer. Credits followed. Tom was no longer just Marvel's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He had become the center of a media storm. Now, the entertainment world waits. Everyone's on edge, waiting for someone to break their silence, for a leaked screenshot, a cryptic Instagram post, or a simple no comment that might say everything. One thing is for sure, the damage is done, and in Hollywood, where image is everything, scars like this don't fade easily. So who will cave first? One more crack, one more leak, and this entire power struggle could explode once again. As it stands, Tom Holland allegedly stands at the crossroads of a Hollywood showdown, having seemingly revealed the lengths to which Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively went to usurp his reign as Spider-Man. Are these rumors just overblown gossip? Or is there truth behind all that smoke? For now, the lines are drawn, and fans are glued to every leak, tweet, and interview slip-up, hoping to confirm their suspicions. If even half of these allegations are true, Ryan and Blake's carefully crafted public image could face a monumental shakeup. Tom, once the happy-go-lucky newbie, might just emerge as the unstoppable force in this bizarre Hollywood war. What do you think? Has Tom truly unmasked a cunning scheme, or is this just sensational gossip? The clock is ticking, so keep your eyes peeled, because in Hollywood, the truth has a funny way of crashing into the spotlight. And when it does, it's bound to make everything we've discussed here look tame by comparison. Stay tuned, because this might only be the beginning.